I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey, dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham. It is a pleasure to have you joining us for tonight. The stars and cars of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup are going to take on the Tricky Triangle Pocono Raceway here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Technically, Long Pond, Blakesley, kind of neighboring little towns up there in the absolutely gorgeous Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. Practice has just wrapped up here. 35 cars on the entry list for tonight. 18 will make up the top split. One of the big considerations that a lot of these drivers have been talking about in the pre-race is going to be what the right front tire wear looks like. And we'll see that storyline develop here over the course of the evening. But first, let's get you the best lap times up here in qualifications. See who's going to be the first driver to set a lap here. Looks like it's going to be either Derek Love or Brandon Buckberger. They're going to be very close across the line, as is Ryan Steele all kind of right in the same window here. Take a look at the weather conditions tonight, presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania. Check out the club at theweathercenter.com. 84-degree ambient temperature. Wind's going to be out of the southwest at 13 miles an hour. That could come into play here, especially if it creates any kind of a crosswind here through turn 3. It already pushes big time off of this corner. Track temperature going to be 91 degrees, a little bit on the warm side. Ryan Steele going to go to the top of the charts, 52.275. 52.275 the lap time. New quick time, top of the board. Kenneth Garrell, 52.206. Another big lap there from Kenneth Garrell. Josh Batista on a bit of a flyer here as well. Let's pick him up through turns 3 and 4. He has gone purple on the first half of the racetrack. See what he can do here through the second half. A little bit of a wiggle off of turn number 3. He's going to come across the line. Oh, man, may have gotten the wall, but he goes quick time, 52.184 seconds, 52.184. The quick lap time for Josh Batista, and yeah, he's going to stop right away. Pick up the Refined Motorsports entry of Kenneth Garrell. He's down over the start-finish line, and he's not going to improve, but Thomas Lewandowski moves to the top of the charts, 52.168, and he dives that machine off into turn number 1. Little bit of a surprise. Brandon Buckberger only going to be 9th quick at best right now. 52.453, the lap time for Brandon Buckberger. Oh, James Watson, how about it second quick? 52.171. Big lap time there for James Watson. See who else is able to put up another lap time. It'll be Thomas Lewandowski, Pablo Donoso, and Laura Gerhardt. Going to be the last 3 drivers with a shot to get a lap in here in qualifications. And Lewandowski puts up a second lap time of 52.36, so lap number 1 will be the lap of record. Just waiting on Pablo Donoso to come across the start-finish line. The Cristal number 4 checkered flag is out. Donoso does not improve, 52.611. It's going to be his lap time, and that will put Thomas Lewandowski and James Watson on the front row for tonight's race. And this is exactly what Thomas Lewandowski needs if he wants to have a shot at the championship. With only 2 races to go following tonight's racing action, so 3 since we haven't turned a lap yet, he is sitting 180 points back of Brandon Buckberger. Buckberger may have clinched already, just based on the fact of how the drop weeks are going to work. These drivers will know better than we will what races are going to drop and which ones won't. But Brandon Buckberger in a pretty solid position here to claim, I believe, championship number 8 in the Silver Crown Cup Series. Absolutely monstrous career that this guy's had in the Silver Crowns. '21 Season 4, 2021 Season 3, 2021 Season 1, 2020 Season 4. Man, the guy is just an absolute machine here. This would be championship number 9 for Brandon Buckberger if he's able to claim one this season. Really impressive career that Brandon Buckberger has had here. Field is lined up on pit lane and ready to go racing, and this will be a single lap behind the iRacing safety car. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in here on YouTube and on Twitch. Hopefully you all are enjoying the show. Give us a shout in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, and let's get you the starting grid for tonight's racing action. On the pole will be New York's Thomas Lewandowski, and alongside 2/1000ths of a second back, Ohio's James Watson. Wayne Hutchison and Josh Batista going to make up row number 2. Kenneth Gurrell, Ryan Steele on row number 3. The entire top 5 separated by less than 1/10 of a second here in qualifications. Derek Love and Brian Elmore on row number 4. Row 5 will have Nate Ranke and Brandon Buckberger. Row 6, Kevin DeBello and Joseph Smith. Row 7, Pablo Donoso and Laura Gerhardt. Row 9, Steve Costley and Wes Shire. And back here on row number 9, Dan Smith out of the Sunshine State. Tommy Toe out of California will round out tonight's 18-car field. 40 laps is the distance. One green-white checker is on offer should it be needed late in the race. Field making their way through the tunnel turn, so named for the pair of tunnels that run underneath that provide infield access to the racetrack. Built and shaped just like the four corners of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 9 degrees, 12 minutes of banking in that corner. Turn 3 modeled after the Milwaukee Mile. Nearly bored flat, and it sends you down onto one of the longest straightaways, I believe the longest on an oval in all of auto racing. This race is going to be wild. 18 cars, 40 laps. It is go time. Green flags in the air. We are underway here at Pocono. Lap number 1 is in the books, and it is Thomas Lewandowski jumping out to the early lead over Josh Batista. A little bit further back in the pack. Big old hornet's nest starting to form up here. Kenneth Gurrell, James Watson, Ryan Steele, Derek Love, Nate Ranke, all battling for position. Watson got shuffled out big time at the start of this race. You wonder if he might be trying to save a little bit of tire, but the problem is you can save too much. You cannot lose the front of the field. And if you lose the draft, you are long gone. Watson down 6 positions for the drop of the green flag, battling with Brandon Buckberger. Everybody ahead of and behind this battle is single file. Buckberger slides off the wall just a little bit, forces Brian Elmore to take evasive action. Top 3 have really broken away, and Wayne Hutchison right now is the fastest car on the racetrack. 52.63 seconds the time, last time by, 52.627 the lap time for Wayne Hutchison. Currently running in the 3rd position. Josh Batista, Ryan Steele, Nate Ranke, and Pablo Donoso have all gained 2 spots to tie for the hard charger as we stand right now. Watson trying to get around Buckberger through turn 2. They'll continue that fight. Man, great drive off the corner there for Watson. That's a power move on the outside of turn 3. Battle for the race lead is on. How about it? Josh Batista with a big dive down inside. He got the drafting help from Wayne Hutchison. Lewandowski going to try to drive it off the corner, and he does. Claims the lead back. In fact, Batista's going to lose a spot there. Now falls back to third. Hutchison going to go to work on Lewandowski. One of the things about these cars, you slide the tires a little bit in the corner, get a little bit too much heat in them. Really can take a lap or two to get things kind of pulled back and get the tires back into that pleasant operating temperature range. Hutchison with a big dive down to the inside into one. He got a huge run down the front straightaway. Little bit of a soft slider. Tried to slide up the racetrack, but Lewandowski once again just powering by on the outside. And the longer these two stay side by side, the more it's going to pack everybody else right back up. Lewandowski able to hold the inside of the tunnel turn, slides back up, chops the nose off of Josh Batista. Batista going to cross back under off of 2, down now inside of 3. Here comes Kenneth Gurrell having a look inside of Ryan Steele as well. Great battle here at the front of the field. Watson. Oh, Watson and Buchberger making contact. And it looks like there's some pretty heavy damage on James Watson's car. Take a look at the 39 machine as he comes through turn 1. Oh, yeah, that car. All sorts of mangled. He is going to have a tough time keeping up with the draft now. Josh Batista now down to the inside of Hutchison. Towards the entry to 2, Derek Love taking advantage of this fight. Now has made it a 5-car battle for the race lead. Brandon Buchberger, Nate Ranke. Oh, Kenneth Gurrell having an issue here as well. Looks like he's having some connection issues. Kenneth Gurrell going to fall out of the race early here. Take a look and see what happened here. Well, at least we'll try to get the replay queued up here. See what happened with James Watson and Brandon Buchberger here. Marcus Lindsay checking in saying, unhappy participants in the server. I can only imagine. As Lewandowski continues to hold on to the race lead. Let's take a look here at the instant replay. Follow this action off of turn number 3. Buchberger and Watson, well, this was off of turn 2. But follow him off of 3. Buchberger down to the inside of the racetrack. Watson on the high side. Not sure if it was a little bit of getting squeezed or what, but oh, yeah, they made pretty heavy contact, wheel to wheel. And then Watson absolutely pounds the outside retaining wall. Now we're up to a 6-car fight as Brandon Buchberger is caught up to this pack. Nate Ranke's not out of this one yet either. He is slowly catching in from about 3/4 of a second back. These leaders are going to have to run some single file laps here if they want to have a shot at breaking away. Well, as we say that, Derek Love, Wayne Hutchison bail out of line. They'll make the dive down to the inside. It's so tricky because you get the big run and your choice is either lift and get run over from behind or pull out and maybe you don't get the pass completed. Now, if we get a caution flag, Watson will be able to come down pit road and attempt repairs on the number 11. Hutchison tries to slide up in front of Lewandowski off the corner. He can't do it. 3 wide drag race down the front straightaway. Buckberger goes top to bottom to top. Oh, they're making contact. 3 wide into turn 1 at Pocono is never a good idea. Wayne Hutchison backs out of it. That was Ryan Steele and Brandon Buckberger making contact. Now Derek Love going to be hung out to dry. Nate Ranke has joined the party. Brian Elmore right there as well. And unfortunately now James Watson is at the front of the line of cars that is running back behind the lead pack, although good drive off the corner. Great run for Watson. He is now caught right back up top 4, starting to break away once again. They get nose to tail, and they're plenty good. The problem is that they're, as soon as they pull out a line, it just sucks everybody else back in. Massive amount of draft that these cars have, and punching just a huge hole in the air. Oh, buddy. What a save. Pablo Donoso back there. He may have had a little bit of contact with James Watson. Already 1/4 of the way through this race, 13 minutes in. Could be as little as about 40 minutes or so to complete this race if we stay green. Problem is, I don't know that we're going to keep this thing green all the way. The move where Wayne Hutchison backed out of the middle 3 wide, you'll do that at lap number 10. There is not a chance you're doing that with a couple of laps to go. Reset the field for you a little bit here. Thomas Lewandowski is your race leader over Wayne Hutchison and Ryan Steele. Brandon Buckberger, Derek Love, Nate Ranke, the top 6. All those drivers just about in one shot. Top 6 now starting to pull away from 7th place, Brian Elmore, to the tune of 0.8 of a second. You just wonder how much are they burning up the tires on these cars running and battling really hard at the front of the field. If we get a caution between lap 20 and say maybe lap 30, you might see some cars duck down pit road just to get a fresh right front tire on the car. It's not going to be a huge penalty to take right side tires under caution, and the laps here are so long, there's just a ton of time to make up that ground through the corners. Once again, Wayne Hutchison dives down to the inside. It's interesting. It's almost like Hutchison doesn't trust that he's clear, because it looked like if he wasn't clear, he was very close to it that time off of turn 1 and just didn't arc the car all the way out to the wall. Here he comes having a look once again to the inside of turn 3. Lewandowski again keeps that momentum wound up on the outside. They'll drag race down to the line, but this time it will once again be Thomas Lewandowski by half a car length at the line. 15 laps on the board. Dan Smith having an issue. He is also being scored out of the race. This is by far the best battle on the racetrack for the race lead. Now Hutchison able to clear. Lewandowski going to try crossing right back under. And he'll have the shove from Buckberger. They are practically bump drafting down the long pod straight into turn 2. Buckberger gave the big shove to Thomas Lewandowski. Ryan Steele giving the monster shove. Oh, and what a huge block. Buckberger has to dive to the inside to avoid Wade Hutchison into one. That was, ooh, buddy, that was approaching dirty. Buckberger's going to have Derek Love a couple of car lengths back. He is now all alone on the inside of the racetrack. Oh, man, barely clear of Wayne Hutchison. He slots back up into line. Whole top six now going to be down on the yellow line inside of turn number 3. Oh, Buckberger hard into the wall. He is going to go up, down, almost around and over. Caution flag is out. And somehow everybody missed Brandon Buckberger. Bounced the car off the outside retaining wall. Take a look at it once again here. He just absolutely creamed the wall, keeps it on all fours, locks the brakes down, gets the car moving again, and that puts us under the caution flag for the first time this evening. I would expect to see Brandon Buckberger and James Watson down pit lane. Now here at lap 17, this begs the question, does anybody choose to come in and take tires? And actually, race leaders have not yet picked up the iRacing safety car, so yes, that's right. They don't have extra sets, do they? Seeing the game, let's get the comment up here on the screen here from Marcus Lindsay. That's a great point. I forgot about that one. Forgot about that. When they went to the ability to regulate tire sets not that long ago. And seeing it's a first-time chatter, Marcus. Welcome. Hopefully you are enjoying the show here. So they could come in and at least get the damage repaired. But looks like everybody's staying out on the racetrack at this point. And we will go at least one more lap behind the iRacing safety car. And yeah, we are going to have to go one more lap under the caution flag here because the field did not immediately catch up. Laura Gerhardt, Brandon Buckberger making their way down pit lane. Oh, Gerhardt slides the car in sideways into her box. This is a very long repair coming up here for Brandon Buckberger. Oh, not too bad. 12.72 seconds, the time of the stop for Brandon Buckberger. Not a lot of damage on that machine, I guess. Mostly cosmetic in nature. But he will have to restart this race from the 16th position. Thomas Lewandowski pretty much has a stranglehold on second position in points. In the 8 weeks that they've counted, 13 starts, 6 wins, 10 top 5 finishes, 4 poles. Very, very consistent thus far this season. Basically, the issue is the drop weeks for Lewandowski have been worse than the drop weeks for Brandon Buckberger. Or I guess you kind of have to flip it the other way around. The races that have scored thus far for Brandon Buckberger are better than the 8 weeks that have scored for Thomas Lewandowski. Lewandowski really impressive in accumulating his 1,446 points this season. Only 8 total incidents. Really a pretty crazy number. Nate Ranke has actually managed to put himself third in points, 400 or so, 400 plus out of the lead. But doing it on 4 total incidents. You barely make contact with somebody, it's good for an incident. Dip a wheel off the racetrack. That's good for an incident point. Nate Ranke has been consistently good this season. Derek Love, Manuel Paredes round out the top 5 in the point standings. They'll be followed by Kenneth Garrell, Pablo Donoso, Jeffrey Stanton, Ryan Steele, and Kevin DeBello. Garrell leading the Division II point standings by a couple hundred points over DeBello. James Watson runs third in Division II, followed by Josh Batista and Brian Elmore. High atop the billboards just outside of Turn 2, the camera position and radio broadcast booth for the Motor Racing Network, one of the neatest locations to watch a race at Pocono, if you can get access to it. Watching the cars dive off into Turn 2 is really pretty incredible. And they look like they're shot out of a cannon. It is deceptively high banked at turn number 1. It's only 14 degrees, but you basically dive off into the corner and it kind of shoots you back out again. It's not a flat racetrack where you just pick up onto the banking. It's more of like a dive off into the corner. Green flag back in the air. Cross flags also up halfway home here at Pocono. Thomas Lewandowski leading Wayne Hutchison, Ryan Steele, Nate Ranke, Derek Love, your top 5. All the way back through 16th, Brandon Buckberger still on the lead lap. So far, everybody behaving themselves nicely here. Brandon Buckberger's already made up a couple of spots coming around Tommy Toe and Laura Gerhardt. He's up to 14th. Hutchison thought about having a look there. Off at turn 1. Here comes Josh Batista peeking out on Brian Elmore. They'll run side by side into the tunnel turn. Elmore able to squeak just out in front. Big run by James Watson off the corner. He's now looking inside of Batista. Batista can have to run the high line through 3 as Pablo Donoso has filled in the hole. Opened up by James Watson. Doesn't look like Donoso going to get any drafting help here down the front straightaway. You wonder if these top 3 or 4 cars are now going to just get in line and stay in line a little bit. Well, we say that, and they've peaked out of line. Steele down to the inside of Hutchison into 2. That would be their only real chance at trying to break away from Derek Love, Brian Elmore, and James Watson. Steele able to clear Hutchison off the corner. Nate Ranke having a look to the inside of the 7 now. James Watson have a pretty decent recovery drive here. After the contact with Brandon Buckberger shot him up into the outside retaining wall. Watson continuing to hold on to 7th. Donoso very wide through turn number 2 there. It'll be 15 to go next time by the start-finish line. Thomas Lewandowski continues to lead over Ryan Steele, Wayne Hutchison, Nate Ranke. And Lewandowski is opening up the gap. It is up to 0.6 of a second. He's going to serpentine his way down the front straightaway. Oh, Elmore may have gotten a piece of the outside wall. He slides up back in front of Watson, but it forced Josh Batista all the way down to the inside. Lewandowski trying to serpentine his way down every one of these straights, trying to break the draft. But it's just not happening. Everybody's staying within about 0.5 or so, maybe 0.6 of your race leader. As we see Josh Batista inside of Watson off of 3. Man, Pablo Donoso got a huge run on Watson down the front straightaway. Nate Ranke now going to be side by side with Derek Love. He's able to complete the pass. Ryan Steele and Wayne Hutchison doing a fantastic job of running nose to tail, taking advantage of the draft. They've cut the lead from 0.6 down to 0.3 as they get into turn number 3. Call it 4, maybe 5 car lengths as they get off at turn number 1 this time. Hutchison going to stay tucked right up underneath the Steele. This good battle back in the pack here now. Watson going to be behind Pablo Donoso as the number 4 of Donoso looks inside of Josh Batista. Nothing there just yet. Donoso slides right back up in line. Watson's going to need some drafting help if he wants to get around Brian Elmore. This is Watson, Elmore, DeBello, Buckberger, and Smith battling for positions 8 through 12 on the racetrack. Derek Love, Nate Ranke going to be nose to tail. Top 3 nose to tail as well, and they've opened up the gap to 9/10 of a second from race leader Thomas Lewandowski back to 4th place, Derek Love. Steele tucked right up underneath the tail tank of Lewandowski down towards 1. He is content not to attempt the pass yet. A lot of action coming up this week here on the National Racing Network. Tomorrow night, it will be round number 2 of the TNT Shock Series coming to you from Phoenix Raceway, the Threenix variety. Followed up on Wednesday, the Cars and Stars of the Sim Racers Club taking the NASCAR Next Gen machines to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Down to 3 races to go for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. That top split race will be coming up Thursday night here from the Red Bull Ring in Austria. I tell you what, I still don't think the leaders are seeing enough of a gap here. They're up by 9/10 of a second over Derek Love. But they've got to be a little bit further out if they want to keep Love out of play for a podium position here. As we are down to, we'll call it 9 1/3 laps to go. Gap continuing to sit at right about 1 second from 1st to 4th. The question becomes, when do they start getting a little antsy here? The later that happens, the fewer cars that are going to have a shot at the win here. Derek Love, Nate Ranke sitting now 1.3 seconds back. They appear to have lost the draft of the top 3. Now they can try to settle it out amongst themselves. At this point, the question becomes, when does Wayne Hutchison decide he's had enough of playtime and sitting back here? And Hutchison may end up playing Kingmaker on this deal, because whoever he goes with is going to have the big advantage down this long, long front straightaway. A straightaway so long it has been used not only as a drag strip, but they've actually landed planes on the front straightaway. That's how wide the racetrack is as well here at Pocono. Slide back in the pack here. Pick up Brian Elmore, Kevin DeBello, Elmore, West Shire, Laura Gerhart. These drivers fighting 11th to 14th. Man, Elmore pops out of line, absolutely chops the front off of West Shire's Homestead Coffee number 10. The lead for your top three now over 2 seconds. This is going to be a race that gets settled among themselves unless we get a caution flag. There's your top three breaking away. Slide the look back a little bit further here. We'll pick up 4th place Nate Ranke. 5th place Derek Love. Love's going to pop down to the inside. Oh, man, Pablo Donoso up into the right side of Josh Batista. A little bit of right side romance there entering turn 1. Oh, Ranke and Love almost make contact off at 2. These cars are turning into a handful. Big bizzle down the second straightaway. Oh, man, Donoso absolutely shoves Derek Love out of the way. This is going to get everybody back into a single file line, but they are now going to be way back of your race leaders. 5 now, 4 to go. Everybody single file to this point as we approach the 40-minute mark. 1 caution for 5 laps. Basically caused by the fact that the leaders were just past turn 1 when the caution flag came out. So they came all the way around to pick up the iRacing safety car. Now 3 to go. Hutchison going to make the move down to the inside. Ryan Steele blocks the effort off. When do we see the pass for the lead? This is not like some of the short tracks where you might set it up, run side by side for a couple of laps, and then decide who's going to get the pass completed. You can do this as a slingshot, entering the corners. The question becomes, when does Ryan Steele want to make the move? It's going to come right now into turn number 3. Steele to the inside. Hutchison goes with Lewandowski to the outside. Going to be a big-time drag race down the front straightaway. Call it Lewandowski by about half a car. Hutchison now going to tuck down with Ryan Steele. That may give Steele the advantage into turn 1. We'll see if he has enough to slide up the racetrack in front of Lewandowski, and he does. Great pass into turn number 1 by Ryan Steele. Lewandowski looks right back to the inside into the tunnel turn. Not able to make that move just yet. Hutchison is trying to time the run. But they are going to be coming back to 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air. 2.5 miles to go here at Pocono. Steele throws the block down the front straightaway. Lewandowski not able to make the dive down to the inside. I don't think that's where he would have tried it anyway. I think you're going to see the move come off of turn number 2. Lewandowski down to the inside. Who does Hutchison decide to go with? He's going to stay up top with Ryan Steele. Race leader's going to stay side by side off at 2 and into 3. Are they going to be able to hold these cars together? The push is a big-time thing off at turn 3. Steele able to hold off thus far. Here comes Lewandowski down to the inside. Checkered flag in the air. Ryan Steele wins at Pocono. Everybody fanning out wide over the start-finish line. Fantastic finish to this one. Show you the battle once again. Almost a little bit of contact made. And there it is. Call it half a car length or so for your race winner, Ryan Steele. Get the race results pulled up for you here. Steele by 75 thousandths over Thomas Lewandowski. Wayne Hutchison, with easily his best run of the season, comes home in third. Brandon Buckberger with a great recovery drive back to fourth. Pablo Donoso will finish tonight in fifth. Nate Ranke, Derek Love, Josh Batista, James Watson, and Joseph Smith round out the top 10. Good recovery drive there for Mr. Watson as well, who's able to come home with a top 10 after almost having that car upside down. 11 to 15, Wes Shire, Laura Gerhart, Brian Elmore, Kevin DeBello, and Steve Costley. Tommy Toe, Dan Smith, and Kenneth Gorell will round out tonight's field. Couple of great battles here late in this race, but the best one was at the front. Let's start our Victory Lane interviews with your race winner tonight. Let's bring in Mr. Ryan Steele. And I tell you what, bud, that was a fantastic pass with 3-4 laps to go. Able to hold off Thomas down the stretch there. Tell us about that last handful of laps and kind of what the thought process was.
Well, for the whole last run, it was just the objective was just get as far away from the field as we could so that when we started battling, we wouldn't invite everyone back into the race. And then I had to decide, when was I going to attack? I was thinking, I've got to go before he thinks I'm going to go, because if he starts getting really defensive, it's going to be really hard to pass. I don't know if that actually worked, but that was the thought process. I was trying to get away by him from 6 laps to go on. And I finally got a good enough run to try it. Like, I think it was 2 to go. And then it worked out in the first actual attempt, which a little bit surprising. I thought it would take more than that.
Yeah, it almost seemed like at one point I described Wayne Hutchison as kingmaker on this one, because whoever he went with off of 3 was going to have a little bit of arrow shove, plus the fact that you had to time it where you had the run off the corner. You maybe caught Thomas in a situation where he was not as quick, and then you had to get the little bit of help. Was there a lot that went into that, or am I overthinking it up here in the booth?
Well, you might be overthinking it in the sense that Wayne is my teammate, so he was probably going to help me as long as he could. Obviously, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you go with whoever gives you the best shot of going forward. But if he could help, he was probably going to help me. But the other thing is I felt like that maybe Tom had a slower top-end gear, because I felt like I had more top speed on the straightaways, but it was hard to know for sure because draft gives you all sorts of feel-good emotions, you know. But, yeah, I think that's all I could really think of there.
All right, but well, it was a fantastic run tonight. Congratulations on picking up a big-time win for you here. Taking a look at the numbers, a second win on the season here in the Silver Crowns. Congratulations on that. Let's make sure you get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you out of here.
Well, as always, I've got to thank Wayne Hutchison because he makes the setup that I just ran And it's proven, at least for this week, it was a race-winning setup where both of us were right up there. I don't know what everyone else is running, of course, but we've had a not super good time this season. Like, I've had a lot of bad races. It was good to have one where we were properly quick and got a good result out of it.
All right, Bud, last question before we let you go here. Heading off to Dover and Lucas Oil Raceway Park to round out the season. What are your thoughts there? Two completely different racetracks from what we saw tonight.
If I don't win Dover, I'll be angry. I have so many good races there, even though I technically hate the track, but I have so many good races there that anything less than a win is a tragedy. And so that's what I'm going for there. Lucas Oil is really tough. You got to qualify at the top of the field because it's so hard to pass there. And anything beyond that's just kind of, waiting for luck on Rex, because no one's going to be so, I want to say, I can't think of the word, but diplomatic enough to just let you go by just because you happen to be right on their butt. They're going to, everyone's going to be fighting for every inch,
All right, Bud. Well, congratulations once again. Looking forward to hopefully talking to you next week. After a top 3 finish in a place you hate, heading off to Dover next week. Congratulations once again there, Ryan. Let's bring in our runner-up finisher tonight here, Thomas Lewandowski. And I'll tell you what here, Thomas, you had a very good run. The car was crazy fast all night, ultimately coming up one position short, but I guess not a ton to complain about.
Well, yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Was able to hold everyone off pretty much all the race except for at the very end, but he just timed it good. I was pretty much a sitting duck out there. Like, I was about just pulling the corners, and then it was actually, I think, hurting me because it was giving him bigger runs on the straightaways on me. But it is what it is. It's good points day. I'm not sure how the drops are going to work out, but it's going to be pretty tight between me and Brandon, I think, here. So, can't complain about second place and leading a bunch of laps and being real quick.
Well, I was going to say, that was going to be the next question here. Was Brandon entered the night with a big lead in points? You got exactly what you needed out of this. I mean, he came home 4th, so it's not a terrible week for him, but outside of a few points more for the win, you kind of did everything you could hope to do here in the championship hunt.
Yeah, like you guys probably didn't know, but like at Phoenix, 10 minutes before the race, I had a ram stick die on me, and I signed up for the race, but I just I couldn't get the computer up and running before then, so I missed that race, which really hurt because I had a real fast car, and Bob Bryant won the race, and he had my setup, so that one hurt, but like you said, the drops I'm not sure how they're gonna work out, but it's gonna be really close because I know me and Brandon pretty much finished top 4 pretty much every week. That's gonna count for the championship. So
looking at what the weeks counted has updated here on the iRacing points side of things, and the gap has not changed after tonight's race. But both of you guys really having a stout year, or stout season, I should say. Average start of 4th, average finish of 5th. It really is an impressive run here. So congratulations on what's been a great season thus far. What are you thinking as we head to Dover next week? That place is it's interesting in these race cars, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dover. One of my Coke Series wins came at Dover. The other was Atlanta, but I'm a big fan of that track. I've ran good there in the past, so I'm hoping to capitalize on that and another top 3 finish at least, hopefully a win, but we'll see what happens and see how the points all shake out.
All right, bud. Well, last thing before we let you go here, make sure you get any sponsor plugs, thank you, shout outs, anything else in here.
Shout out to Marcus Lindsay, John Prather, all the guys over to Drill Isle to help out. And of course you guys for broadcasting these things. You guys do a great job, and you guys always deserve some love.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate the kind words there. And, man, I'll tell you what, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to talk to Wayne Hutchison tonight, which sucks, quite frankly, because I was really looking forward to getting a chance to talk to Wayne. But all in all, fun night of racing here at the Tricky Triangle. We've got a lot more coming up here as well. Tomorrow night, the TNT Series will be back for round number 2 of the Shock Series. Coming to you from Phoenix. the newest of the layouts of Phoenix Raceway. Series has a long history there, a lot of numbers to crunch tomorrow during the day for that broadcast. Coming up on Wednesday, it'll be the Sim Racers Club off to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway with the rest of the season. They actually just announced earlier this week the rest of the season will be done in the NASCAR Next Gen cars. So it'll be all Cup cars all the time. I'm sure Will Worsler is not real thrilled with that decision being made. But, yeah, looking forward to a great night of racing there from the Sim Racers Club. Thursday night, the Indy Pro 2000 Championship heads off to the Red Bull Ring for their round number 10. I think 10? Yeah. Wow, crazy. Can't believe we're almost to the end of 2022 season 1. And coming up in March will be the debut of the Fuel League Premier Series. That one will be coming up as well. That is a long schedule. That's going to run all the way in through the month of June. Don't want to miss any of that one. A couple of doubleheader nights. That racing is going to be a ton of fun to watch as well. With that, we are getting out of here. For everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you all tomorrow night. Have a great night, everybody.